Everybody, welcome to another video of Monica Barnes Art. Today I'm doing a video on the most commonly asked questions. How do I keep dust off of my paintings? What do I clean with? How do I keep the resin off of like the surface of my things? Like, I'll go over a bunch of stuff. Dimples in your paintings, which is the worst, and I learned the hard way, and that is a commonly asked question. So I'm gonna go over all this stuff with you and hopefully help you out with anything you need. And if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. Hopefully this video will help somebody out there. I really gotta clean this garage. It's a friggin' mess. Like, whew, one of these days. I keep saying that. I don't have time. Let me see. Anytime I have extra resin and it's laying on my table, I always make coasters. So I have these wooden coasters and I just throw it, get the coaster and throw it on the table. So if here's my table and all that wet resin after I take my painting and put it in my dryer, I call it my dryer. It's actually the shelf with the plastic on it, my dust-free zone. I get my little wooden coasters and I just dip it in all the resin that's on the table, and that's usually what I get, something cool. That's from the painting I just did. Okay, now with these, if you have them drying on something, like I had a plastic cup on that, you can get marks on the bottom of my coasters and my paintings also with this. I used to sand it, but the sanding was like way too hard and it took way too long. This thing, I think I paid like $19, $25, I don't remember. It wasn't much at my local Home Depot store, and I love this thing. It's so quick, so easy. You can buy a cheap one, get it done. It like literally takes seconds. I use it on all my big paintings, my small paintings. I use it on canvases, woods, coasters, everything. So if you have all those big drip marks, which I can have a lot of. Okay, so did I mention what that thing was? It's called a grinder. It makes a lot of noise. Okay, so is clean. Now you can grind it more and make it really clean and perfect, but that's all it needs to be. So I did this painting, and you can see all the drip marks on the bottom of it. Okay, get that grinder, go around the bottom real quick, done. Clean it with alcohol. Art. Very quick, easy, simple. Okay, let me unplug this before I grind myself up. You don't know some of the shit I do. You guys would be shocked. Everybody keeps saying do live videos. Well, God, if you saw me do a live video, you all would die. I set myself on fire. I set paper towels on fire. I have done some crazy stuff. I have resined myself to the table. Oh my God, you name it, I have done it. Okay, so anytime I have extra resin and there's not enough to make a coaster, especially like if I have a little bit in the cup, I usually get these molds. I have all kinds of molds. I left a mess on my table so I can show you guys how to clean up some of the work, what materials to use to clean it up with, and I don't know. All my questions are on my phone, and I'm using my phone to make a video. Dimples in your resin painting. That's a big one. I get that question asked a lot. If you get dimples in your painting, you're not using enough resin. You guys, use a little bit more. Pour that resin on that canvas. Pour a little bit more than what you need. If you think you're using, like if you think you got it covered, a lot of people put a real light coat, and then when it settles and dries, resin has a way of self-leveling itself. And when it does, if you don't have enough, it will create pits or dimples. So make sure you use enough resin. That's a big one. So one question down. Another one is dust-free. How to keep your paintings dust-free. I actually did this, but you guys can do your own. I have two. I have one for smaller paintings, which I'm going to show you, and then I have a really big one for big paintings. So this is a shelf unit, and I duct taped plastic to it, and this is my opening. I think I have a painting in here. Actually, I have two. So I laid a piece of plastic down on the shelf. You can see, just cut it to fit the shelf. I use my little cups. Little cups, see? You can see them on the bottom of my painting. And this keeps all the dust out. Believe me, any little particle of dust, it definitely works. I have a really big, fat shelf that I have plastic all around for my huge paintings. It was hard to find, but I found it. So it's simple, easy. Of course, mine's like half-assed. I'm sure you could do a better job. Kind of duct taped around. I did it real quick. It's been working for over a year. Just so you see what's going on. So, let me back up. Watch out, Duke. Watch out, Duke. Hi, baby. So this is my work table, which is 2 wooden horses with a piece of plywood on it. You can make it as big as you want. Then I buy these plastic sheets. They're for like doing, like painting houses. You buy rolls of plastic at your local like Home Depot, Lowe's. Plastic, and the reason is when your resin spills on the table and you need to clean it up, this is what you can do. Voila. Surface is clean. No waste. And now I have a clean area to do another video. A lot of times when I do videos, I'll use a brown paper to put on top, just for the simple fact that I am a lazy person and I don't like to clean up too much. So I do have silicone sticks that I let resin dry on these overnight. You can see. You can use these like 1,000 times. These are really good to clean with alcohol real quick when you're done using them. If you don't do it, you can just peel the resin off the same way you did with the cup. See, comes right off. You can get these on Amazon. You can click on the link below under my description. There's a little triangle up on the right-hand side. If you click on that, it brings down my Amazon link and you can purchase all this stuff. I also have these little silicone cups that you can use and reuse and reuse and reuse. And it's the same thing. These are hard to get the resin out when they're dry because they're so tiny. I mean, you can get it out. So they're not great for that. But you see how it just peels right out. If it's wet, the resin's wet and there's only a little bit in there, just get a piece of paper towel, wet it with alcohol, comes right out. So that's it, comes right out. So you can definitely reuse these a lot. These and these come as a set and you can purchase them together with a couple little molds that you can use for different things. I have roses, skulls for the boys, roses for the girls, gemstones, which I did have a little bit of, I think it's brown resin that I had last night. Pops right out. Boom. Look at that cute little gemstone. Isn't that cool? I have like a million of these in every color you can think of. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but one day I will do something with them. Here's the skull when it's finished. It's pretty cool. Kids Love these things. Little clear one. Here's the roses when they're finished. I have so many of these. Whoop, piece of resin. I'm just showing you. This is just like stupid little molds you can get on Amazon. I always use 2 pairs of gloves. I have medium gloves and I have large. You don't have to do all that. But I wear the medium gloves and then I put a pair of large gloves on top. When I'm working with the resin, usually my first pair always gets dirty and I don't want to take them off and in the middle. With resin, you don't have much working time. These silicone cake molds that I use to hold up my paintings, resin comes right off of them. These are awesome. This is how they come. They're in the link below. Put them together and they can hold some weight. I do some big paintings and little paintings and it holds them perfectly. And the resin does not stick to them. And you don't have to clean them. You can just peel them off. This one's like caked with resin. Peel it off just like everything else if you want to. If you want to get a 3D effect on your resin painting, use clear resin on top of your painting after you're done. It gives it some really cool effects. Sometimes 3D, sometimes just different. So when you're done your painting, and if you pour, the higher you pour the resin, the deeper it will go into your painting and move the pigments around. So if you have colors on top of colors, it will actually go down and grab the other colors and pull them to the surface. Another tip for you. Once you're done your resin painting, and if you look at it, and sometimes you can see these little dust particles on top of it, let it go. Let it go for like maybe an hour. This is what I do. I don't know if anybody else does it, but it's just something that works for me. I will get my torch, and it only works with a torch, and I'll see the dust particles after about an hour of it curing, and I will torch it, and that burns the dust right off of it. Definitely helps. A lot of people ask me what's the difference between acrylic paint and mica pigment. Mica pigment is a powder. It comes in little jars, and it almost looks like eyeshadow. It has a little shimmer to it. I use the color Cottage. And acrylic paint it's nice. It doesn't have that shimmer though. So if you're looking for something that like has that shimmer, you definitely want to go with the mica. If you don't want something that shimmers, go with the acrylic paint or inks. You can get inks from Resin Obsession, different companies. I'm sure just about any type of ink and resin will work. I've tried everything out there. So I guess that's it for today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want to know something, let me know, and maybe I have the answer for you. Not sure. I tried to fit everything that I remember people asking me into this video, so hopefully you learned something. Thanks for watching. Give me thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.